I'm Kathy Stone. I'm the executive director here at Cornerstone since 2011, and I would just say we're excited about this Wonder Walk for a lot of reasons. One is we need it more than ever because we opened a new center this year. It actually opens. The soft opening was a few weeks ago, and we finally have all of our school readiness information in place. And um, because we work with a lot of children that live below poverty, school readiness vouchers are a big part of that. And so it just took some time for that to all be in place. So actually, on Monday, this coming Monday, we
Mhm,
should have about a third of the students will start. So we'll have about 30 students start on Monday.
mhm,
And that's about half of what we have at the Old West Tampa location. So
mhm.
we're excited about that. It will have an after school program, which is new for us. And we'll be partnering with a Title I elementary school that's right next door, doing a walking bus between those two locations every afternoon. So we're super excited about it. But it does mean that more scholarships will be needed. And we
Right.
know probably even more will be needed in that community because it's a heavily Hispanic community where a lot of immigrant families are coming. School readiness vouchers through the Early Learning Coalition are not available to immigrants who don't have all their documents in place yet.
Mm,
And so they have to go through another process. So we know in order to get their children in safe care, get parents working, that we're going to have to at least temporarily scholarship those children. So it's going to be very, very important that we have scholarship money available to do that. Wonder Walk is how we make that happen. Top Golf is also how we make that happen. This is our way as the Christian community of walking and talking our walk, right? Is
right.
we can't say that, we don't want to depend on government to do everything and not step up and do the piece that they're not doing. And
Right.
so this is our opportunity to do that. And so I really encourage you to get the word out about that. This is a way to
Mhm.
help those parents do what we used to help parents do when they immigrated to our country, help them get documented, help them get their children in school so that they have a pathway to prosperity. That's the American tradition. That's what we love when we started. That's what we started about, and that's what we want to continue to do. And so this is new for us. There will be a lot of opportunities for volunteerism. I'm sure Jeanette will end this with some of that information because we know sometimes this is the only time of the year we get face to face with you. So we want to give you all that information so you can take it back to your congregation. So this is a time when we really need you to do that. At the same time, I always try to give you an update at this time. At the same time, you may have caught the newscast on ABC News last week. It was the opening story at the 6 o'clock news on Monday. Um, and About that we continue to wrestle with keeping our children safe at the Old West Tampa location. And so just be in prayer about that, that city officials and donors would step up, that we would be able to create a safety around the Old West Tampa location, that volunteers would continue to come and volunteer and not be deterred in any way by newscasts like that, because obviously we keep our facility safe. But it is really important that we keep that in prayer. So for all these reasons, Wonder Walk is very, very important. Um, and we want you to, we also want you to know that we know that Wonder Walk's been one of those um, events that's been hard to put on the calendar for your church because it's always announced late, and you're trying to do your calendar before the end of the year, and it always fluctuates with Easter. And so we have decided, as you can tell this year, to make it the first Saturday in May. And we're going to keep it that way from now on. So it'll always be the first Saturday in May. It will be, never conflict with Easter. It won't ever conflict with Mother's Day, although it may end up at some point. I guess it could technically end up the day before Mother's Day, and we'll deal with that when we get there. It won't conflict with graduations. These are all the reasons, or the Strawberry Festival, or any of those, or Gasparilla, or any of those things that we've had to work around before. And we'll deal with if Hyde Park, can't accommodate us on that day, but that's going to be our day. So I just want you to know that, just as you plan in years ahead, it'll always be the first Saturday of May. Okay. And other than that, I would just say I know that Jeanette will have some opportunities for questions and answers later. But certainly if you have any questions about, I know like Sandy, and I think you do this also, Ruth, create like some sort of display throughout the whole WonderWalk season. And you try to, even if people are not interested in walking, if they're just interested in donating, you want them to know about our work. So that way they're interested in doing that. If you need any other information or need us to come and speak to your congregation ahead of a service, if you want to make a, Cornerstone Sunday or something, we're happy to help you do that. We will, between the three of us and all of our board members who are always happy to go and visit, we're happy to do that. Whatever makes that real for your congregation. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think we lost Dolores. I think she's having a connection problem.
Yeah, it seems like she is. Hopefully she'll hop back in. But the good thing about this and technology is that we are recording it. So I will make sure that this presentation is accessible in the group coordinator, on the group coordinator resource page. So then that way, not only for those who we've lost on the call today, but anyone moving forward that may not have the opportunity to attend our trainings will be able to have something to get them started. So thank you, Kathy, for that. So it's WonderWalk season. This is exciting. And as Kathy mentioned, it's exciting for more reasons than one. What you see on the screen is our flyer for this year. And so our event will take place on Saturday, May 6th from 9 to 12. And this year we have a special guest and host, and that is Deanne King, who is an anchor and reporter at WFLA News Channel 8. And so she is going to be assisting. I know many of you have seen me virtually hosting, producing, and doing all types of things at WonderWalk. And so having someone like Deanne being able to take that microphone and keep folks engaged and entertained, both in person and virtually, is just a huge blessing and will add to the experience that participants have at our WonderWalk events. Another important thing to note is that this year, our only in-person location will be at Hyde Park United Methodist Church, where groups can come, check in, browse our auction items, as well as walk along Bayshore Boulevard. And then aside from there, groups certainly are more than welcome to virtually walk anywhere they please. So I wanted to start by showing you ladies the promotional 1 minute, 30-second promotional video that we've put together for this year's WonderWalk event. This video is something that would be amazing for your groups to share, your churches to maybe show during any downtime throughout your service, and or even share on their social media platforms. So I'll go ahead and play that now.
At Cornerstone Family Ministries, we believe every child deserves to have hope for a brighter tomorrow. Back in 1892, segregation left many of Tampa's immigrant families without a school willing to educate their children. That was until Rosa Valdez and Eliza Wolf stepped in. Cornerstone Family Ministries was born, and over 120 years later, our mission has stayed the same: to make a lasting and positive impact in the lives of economically disadvantaged children and their families by nourishing bodies, developing minds, and fostering hope through Christ, one child at a time. Our annual Wonder Walk hybrid event takes place on May 6th, and we'd love to invite you to join us from virtually anywhere. It is truly an event for everyone, and all funds raised will go directly to providing scholarships for inner city children who need a safe space to learn and grow. Sign up or donate online at cornerstonefamilyministries.org. There's lots of ways to get involved. You can start your own team and begin raising money today, become one of our sponsors, volunteer to help at one of our events, and even host a virtual walk if you can't make it in person. Visit cornerstonefamilyministries.org to register online, access our virtual auction, and help us keep the beacon of hope light for some of Tampa's most vulnerable children.
All right. So we kept the video. We kept the video nice and short. We know that if this was something your church or group decided to play, it being succinct would be helpful. And so again, you will have access to that link and all of the information that you need to share that with whomever may just be interested in learning what Wonder Walk is all about and how they can get involved. Just a couple things to note. For the two locations at Bayshore, for the location at Bayshore, we will be at the Hyde Park United Methodist Church's Magnolia building. It's the same building that we were in, but if you didn't come out last year, it's the building that's located in the same on the same side as their parking lot. And their groups, again, will come in. If they haven't already grabbed their shirts from the weekend before, they'll be able to grab shirts and bags. We'll have some grab and go lunches, and then we will have our auction items displayed. So it's still very fun to come out, meet some other teams, interact with our staff and board members and folks who will be present. But then again, last year, a lot of teams did a wonderful job pulling together their own virtual walks, whether it was out at Redington Beach, whether it was at their churches. St. Andrews did one at their church as well. So we encourage you to do whatever you feel is best. For some churches and groups, we say use Wonder Walk as an opportunity to really engage the families and children that are part of your church or group. Really use Wonder Walk as something that not only serves Cornerstone, but also serves your mission. Mommy. And so be creative. Again, I apologize for the little one in the back here. So be creative. If you or a team member are unable or uncomfortable to walk together or at one of the Wonder Walk routes, challenge someone to walk around their neighborhood or in their backyard. And record that. Ask them to record and share a prayer that they may have done for students. I'm sorry, one second.
Babies are so precious.
Okay, so challenge your walkers. And then, as we mentioned before, hosting a virtual walk is always an awesome alternative to folks who may not be able to join. Our goal this year is to raise $150,000. And as Kathy mentioned, we need to meet our goal this year. We have twice as many students to provide those early learning scholarships. And so what we like to do is kind of break it down so you can see, well, how are we going to get there? Our hope is that we're able to secure $75,000 in sponsorships. Imagining we had 19 teams that chose to walk virtually, and each of them had a goal of raising one scholarship, which would be about $3,000. That would bring in $56,000. And then we always have our 2 teams that do our virtual walks at Tampa Prep and Center Academy. And so I'll tell you, those students, they go over and beyond their goal. And so we're going to challenge each of them to reach, if not exceed, their goals for this year. And then we have our virtual auction and baskets that are included within that. And so we're hoping to raise about $7,000 there. And that will get us to our $150,000 fundraising goal. So please, 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 if you're wondering, well, how much should we strive to raise as a team? Consider a full scholarship, which would be right around that $3,000. So group coordinators, for those of you who may be watching this that have never done it, you want to understand kind of what is a group coordinator? Well, the group coordinator is the person that represents the group, organization, school, or church. And your job is to spread the word about WonderWalk. You help to identify within your group other team leaders. And those could be, the head of a family, and that family wants to start their own team. It could be a ministry within your church, and that specific ministry wants to start their own team. And so what we do is we encourage you to find those team leaders and to encourage each team that's a part of your group to have a set goal. What we know in fundraising is when you set a goal, it not only energizes folks, but it really keeps your eye on that prize, and it gets people moving and working harder and harder toward making sure you all are successful in whatever goal that you set. As a group coordinator, you're also going to be providing information about WonderWalk, about the online registration process. You are probably the first go-to if anyone at your group or organization has a question about WonderWalk. And then we are your immediate go-to here at Cornerstone if there's anything you need, whether it's resources, answers, support, or as Kathy mentioned, inviting us to come out and even present to the groups, we find is a great idea because it really gives them a true understanding, not only about WonderWalk, but about who we are as an organization and the impact we have at large. And then also as a group coordinator, we're going to ask, and you have a little bit more time this year, being that WonderWalk isn't until May, but we're going to ask that you collect all of the t-shirt sizes to the best of your ability for all of your teams and team members and submit that through our online request by March 31st. And so I will show you once we go through the slides what that online submission form looks like. But you have some time to get there. So as you're onboarding team members, just say, hey, what's your shirt size? And that way you can start collecting that information. Team leaders. So team leaders, as I mentioned, they set the fundraising goal for the team. They recruit other folks to join their team. They also will need to register online. And when they register online, they're able to start a team if their team isn't already listed. And so as their other team members register, they know to go ahead and affiliate themselves with that same team. And the team leaders are really who you all should go to as group coordinators to say, hey, what's the shirt sizes of all of your team members? So you have Cornerstone, you have our group coordinators, we have our team leaders, and then we have our walkers, runners, and then our donors. And that's really the flow of how this all works. So it's time to gather your team. And as we keep saying, you have more time to do it. And so what we're hoping to see are bigger teams, and new creative ways that folks will be able to implement and use WonderWalk as a way to serve not only our ministry, but also those within your group. So teams can consist of family members, friends, coworkers. We have companies that have their own WonderWalk teams. So don't just think about the group that you're in. Think about the groups that maybe some of your team members or team leaders may be a part of. And let's figure out how can we engage those folks as well, whether they're in different clubs or sororities or fraternities. These are all organizations that look for ways to give back to the community. And so we certainly want to make sure that WonderWalk is on their radar. And so our walkers and our fundraisers, those are our boots on the ground. They are out recruiting donors to support the WonderWalk effort. They're making sure that the donors are informed about what their goal is as a team and what our goal is at large, that $150,000 goal to provide those early learning scholarships for our students who attend all of our Rosa Valdez early learning centers. And so once they register online, They will be able to create a fundraising page, and that link that they have, they can share it with others via text message. They can share it on their social media pages. They can email it out to folks and say, hey, I'm supporting Cornerstone's 43rd annual Wonder Walk, and I would love for you to donate to help us reach our goal. So we want to make sure that our walkers and our fundraisers are out, they're registered already, and they have their page linked so that they can share that whenever possible. So then the next question becomes, well, how do I register? So if you go on our website, there's a link that says 43rd Annual Wonder Walk. You click right there. And on the right-hand side of your screen, it's just a quick snapshot of what that website looks like. And so by going there, you see it says register to walk, run. You click on that button and it's going to take you right to the registration portal. And I'll do a live demo once we go through the slides of how the online pages work and look, so that way you're comfortable. But just know that through the website, you can register to become a sponsor. So there is the Become a Sponsor button. Sponsors are able to see the sponsorship package, all of the different perks that they receive and all of the different sponsorship levels, and go right ahead and register online. They can also register to walk. If they're already registered and they want to get back to their fundraising page, they can click right there where it says already registered. And then if there's a donor that wants to donate to a team or a walker or runner, they can click right here, donate to walker or runner, and it will take them to those options. And then also on the Wonder Walk landing page is our group coordinator resources that I will share with you all. And that's where you will be able to find downloadable versions of the flyer, the team roster form that you will complete to let us know the shirt sizes, the links to this promotional video, as well as the link to download the actual video file, just in case your media ministry needs the file versus a YouTube link. We will have all of that set up for you. And then if there's any information that's not in that resource portal that you need or think would be helpful, let us know. And we're going to make sure we get that there, not only for you, but for our other group coordinators that may be needing it. And just so you all know, the direct link to this landing page is right here, cornerstonefamilyministries.org/WonderWalk. But again, if they just went to our main homepage, they will still see a button that will allow them to get to Wonder Walk. Now, that's all for folks who are cool with doing this online, but we certainly understand those who are not so comfortable with collecting donations online, and or it's just not the way that works for their networks. So if you are in need of our actual Wonder Walk donation envelopes and waiver forms, please let me know as soon as possible. Here on the screen, it says, let me know by March 29th, but just know that you could let me know that today, and I will make sure that we get that information in those envelopes and those paper materials to you. For those who are on the call that may be in attendance at next week's United Women in Faith District meeting, we will have envelopes there as well, so you can pick those up right there on site. But if we won't be seeing you, you want us to mail those to you, just let us know about how many you need. You can reach out to me by phone or email, and I will make sure that gets to you as soon as possible. Also, please know that if you're giving out envelopes for folks to use for donations, then we need you to collect those envelopes. And those need to be collected before April 29th. On April 29th, which is the Saturday before our Wonder Walk event, that's where group coordinators are able to come out to our office located in Ybor on 17th Street between 10 and 12. And you drop off whatever donations you may have been collecting physically. And in return, we give you your Wonder Walk shirts as well as your Wonder Walk bags. Another important thing to note, for anyone who has not registered online and who is collecting donations physically, they also need to make sure that they complete a physical waiver form. And that waiver form is going to ensure that we're covered liability-wise. So if you're giving them an envelope, go ahead and have them sign the waiver form so that you as the group coordinator or team leader know that you already have that information collected. If for whatever reasons you're unable to come that Saturday before to check in and turn in those materials, you can certainly do that on the day of Wonder Walk, May 6th, at the Hyde Park United Methodist Church location. Our team will have everything you need to check you in properly. Okay, and so envelopes. So for those who may have not seen our envelopes before, we have two envelopes. You have one large envelope for our group coordinators, and then we have the smaller envelopes for our walkers. For our team leaders, we want to make sure that they are writing the names and information of all of the donors that have contributed to the donations within their envelope. And then once the team leader has completed that, the team leader is turning in all of the envelopes to the group coordinator. The group coordinator, it's your job to make sure that before you turn those monies into us, make sure that it's pretty accurate. We have as much information as possible on the front of those envelopes. You have totaled up and have confirmed that the totals are correct. And so then when you come to us on either April 29th or May 6th, you're turning that into our team. And in exchange, we're giving you the shirts and the bags for all of your walkers. Other ways to contribute. So you may have folks that say, I'm unable to walk, may not be as comfortable with collecting donations. Well, a way that they can still contribute toward our goal is to donate an item to go into our virtual auction. We ask that to the best of our ability, we collect items that are valued at $75 or more. But we have had baskets of all types, gift card baskets, spa baskets, candle baskets, toys for boys baskets. And so baskets are a great way for folks to contribute creatively towards supporting this event. And then also gift certificates. So if you know of a business or if your church would like to be an event sponsor, please open that door and let us know, hey, there's a salon or there's a restaurant that would love to support your ministry. We can make that extra effort and reach out to them and make contact to get them involved and to inform them about who we are as an organization and how their help not only helps us, but helps the families and children that we serve. On your screen is a graphic of our sponsorship brochure. We will have copies, physical copies of the sponsorship brochure, as well as downloadable digital versions, which are already accessible. So the sponsorship brochure is available. And so if you have any potential sponsors, please encourage them to take a look at it. And again, reach out to us, and we are willing to do that connecting work to make sure that those sponsors have a full understanding of what benefits them in supporting us as a sponsor. And again, our goal is to not only renew the sponsors we've had in the past, but also engage new sponsors, being that we have more time to do so. So here are some important dates to remember. This might be a screenshot that you take and just leave up on your refrigerator. If you need envelopes by March 29th, go ahead and let me know. You can do that starting as early as today, and I will make sure you get those envelopes. By the 31st of March is when I'm asking you to submit the t-shirt sizes for all of your walkers. So that way we can go ahead and make sure that when we place our Wonder Walk shirt orders, we're as accurate as possible. Do note, we do place a few extras for every size. So if you're not able to get every single walker size, it's okay. But we do ask to the best of your ability, you try to get as many shirt sizes as possible. Also on the 29th of April, that is the day for group coordinators who are able to meet us out at our office in Ybor to come and turn in those donations, those liability forms, any auction gift baskets or auction item donations to us on that April 29th date from 10 to 12 p.m. And then on Wonder Walk Day, which is May 6th, come out, join us in person if you're choosing to join us at Hyde Park United Methodist Church. And again, if you hadn't turned in your materials the weekend prior, bring everything with you, and we will make sure that you and your team are ready to go and participate. And then also on the 6th, for those who may have donated, they can't come walk with us, but they just want to be a part of it. Our virtual experience will be available right on our website. We will be streaming live starting at 9 a.m. on May 6th from our website. So if you are doing a virtual walk at your church, pull up our live stream so that it's showing in your facility space so that folks who may not walk or get done early can just sit and enjoy the show while engaging with our virtual auction and other activities. So virtually is our silent auction, it's our live stream, and there's different ways for folks to engage. On May 6th is when our auction will open. Folks can go right to our website. There will be a button on that day that says browse and bid in our auction. And so they will have access to that as well as the live stream. They can also go to our Facebook page. If they're on Facebook to view our live stream, they can go to the website, and the live stream will also be showing within our silent auction portal, which is Handbid. So there are several different ways and opportunities for folks to watch what we're doing virtually at Hyde Park, as well as to engage with our virtual auction and activities. And so for walkers everywhere, we want to make sure that you are taking pictures, and especially if you're doing a virtual walk, take photos, take videos, tell us where you're walking, engage with us on social media. So if you're not already, not only you, but your group as well, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We're also on LinkedIn under Cornerstone Family Ministries. And throughout the entire event, we use the hashtag CFMWW. So share that with the person that you will designate as your Wonder Walk media taker. And once that media or the footage has been taken, feel free to send that right to me. Sometimes it's easiest to do it via text message. And so my cell phone is right there on the screen. And there will also be some reminder photo cards in all of your walker bags, reiterating this information as well on the day of Wonder Walk. And so as we come to a close and before we open it up for questions and answers, as Kathy mentioned, we have been diligent in making sure that all of our supporters are aware of ways they can support our ministry throughout the year. And so we have physical copies as well as digital copies of this flyer that you see on your screen. But what we have done is we've taken the time to go through month by month and really pull out ways that groups, individuals, families, and organizations can get involved with Cornerstone. And so whether it be through our garden programs, our Family Matters events at our various Rosa Valdez Early Learning Centers, our care packages for kids opportunities, which are great opportunities to engage churches. That's where we bring out ingredients, or your church will collect ingredients for our nutritious care packages, and you'll pack them. Oftentimes that paired with us coming out to do a presentation about who we are just serves as a very memorable experience for those, and especially as we are energizing them behind supporting Wonder Walk. So please take some time to look at this. This will be accessible as a download in the group coordinator resource page. But we hope that this will allow for you all, as you're planning your calendars, your mission moments, or your community outreach experiences, this will at least give you an idea of what we have going on at various parts of the year and how you may be able to support our mission. So what I want to share next is the website. So as I mentioned, if you go to our website, which is cornerstonefamilyministries.org, this button right here says 43rd Annual Wonder Walk. Once you click on that button, it will take you to the 43rd Annual Wonder Walk page. And so here you'll see that we have the promotional video, just a little blurb about the event. And so then folks may want to register. So when they click register to walk run, we are using the same back end that we used last year. So if you did it with us last year, this should all look very familiar, the Fun Easy platform. But essentially, you will pick if you're going to walk with us in Tampa or if you're going to walk virtually, fill in the information, select the gender, age, if you're a school, business, or church. If you have had a team in the past, then you should already be listed. If you are a new team, then you simply will click add team. And when you add your team, it's important that you add the group. So for example, I'll pick on my church. Mount Vernon Primitive Baptist is the church name, but let's say my family is a part of that church, but our family starts our own team. We would make sure we put in here Mount Vernon PB Church Forge family, right? Because there may be another team that's created from our church, and maybe this one is the men's ministry. So this is how we can keep a good sense of not only the group, but the different teams within that group. And organizations that have great examples of this. I mean, for Cornerstone, we have different teams for each of our classrooms. You know, different churches at Bay Hope, they have different teams depending on different outreach ministries. So just note that when you're putting in any new team, put the group name hyphen the team name. And then also we are asking that anyone who registers online to give us their shirt sizes. So for group coordinators, if you know that all of your folks have registered online, you don't have to worry about their shirt sizes because they had to tell us their shirt size when they registered. And then of course, their contact information and then initials for the waiver. And so again, if they've registered online, you don't have to worry about their shirt sizes and you don't have to worry about collecting the physical paper waiver forms because we've collected all of that information at the onset of their registration. Okay, so going back to the website, let's say folks are here and they've already registered. So if they've already registered and they're trying to figure out, well, how do I get back to my page? Up here in the corner, it's going to say log in. And so when they log in, they'll put in their information. If they've already logged in, then it says log out, but they can click on my page. And when you click on my page, sorry, I'm not logged in as the right person, but when you click on my page, it will bring up their fundraising page that they can go to. For those who are wanting to donate, when they click here, they click donate. And so, we'll use Sandy as our example. So let's say they want to donate to Sandy. They go to Sandy's page. They're able to see that they're on the right page. It tells them how much Sandy has raised so far. It says what team she's a part of. So she's a part of St. Andrew's United Methodist Church, but her team name is the Seekers. And so not only does it show Sandy and how much she's raised, but it also shows others like Mary Allen who are a part of her team. So this is what your Walker page looks like. And if you want to share your page with anyone else, this is the link that you can copy and send to folks, whether again, it be text message, email, on social media, and it will bring them directly to your page as a Walker after you have registered. And so then become a sponsor. If they click become a sponsor, again, they will see all of the different sponsorship levels. Now, one thing that's important to point out is that we have our matching sponsor, the Kahn Memorial Foundation, which has been a big supporter for us, and they match the donations of all new walkers and all new and increased sponsors. And so it's always our goal up to $10,000 to get as many new walkers and to encourage our sponsors to renew and increase and or to come on board as new sponsors so that we get that full matching benefit. Also on the web page, people will find that we're walking in Tampa or they can walk virtually anywhere. After today, this section will change a bit. And what you will find is this button is actually going to now take you to the group coordinator resource page. And so that page will look like this. You will be able, as a group coordinator, you will click on that button and you'll be able to download our event flyer, the Facebook banner. You'll be able to download the sponsorship brochure, the waiver form in case you need the actual physical waiver form. It's already there for you. After this presentation, I will upload the video recording from today's virtual training. I've already, for your reference, I've already uploaded the slides from today's presentation. So then that way you can click right there and have access to these slides that I've shared today. And then I'll be uploading some step-by-step directions on paper for how folks can register online. In case you're dealing with someone who's like, I just can't figure it out, you'll be able to send them the paper instructions on how to get started. For the promotional video, here's the YouTube link taking you directly to the promotional video. And then here's also the hyperlink that you can click on to download the actual video file. And then, as I asked, by March 31st, if you can come here, if you've had physical envelopes handed out, this is where you will come by the 31st. You will put in your name and information. You will let us know the name of your group, where you plan to walk, if it's at Bayshore, or if you're going to be doing it virtually. And then you will put in the number of shirts you need for each size. So we typically start with toddlers shirts as small as 3T, and we go up to our adult sizes. So you would want to put in the total number of shirts you need in each size for those walkers that you know have not registered online. And then down here, you'll let us know, how do you plan to pick up or turn in your materials? So you will let us know if you will be coming on April 29th. That second option will change to May 6th. And or if you would prefer, if you're a team that's joining us and you're not even in Florida, which is awesome, give us your shipping address. So then that way we can make sure we get that information shipped over to you. We want to know if this is your first time or not participating in Wonder Walk. And then, you know, you will let us know if you have walkers who are collecting monies in person. And if so, then the next page will ask you to put in those different walkers and their information as well. Going back to the site and just scrolling down, we will keep a ticker for our sponsors. So then that way folks will know who is on board as sponsorships. Our full flyer and more information about really the significance of this event and its impact on the families and children that we serve is outlined. Just a couple quick fun facts and a few pictures from last year's Wonder Walk are available here for folks to browse through and get a real sense of what the event is all about. And then our impact. And this is a testimonial video that you may find to be something very great to share with your group so that they could really not only hear it from us, but hear it from a parent, Latoria, who had several of her children go through Rosa Valdez and who certainly benefited from the sliding scale scholarships that we're able to afford our families through the funds raised at Wonder Walk. And so this is a testimonial video that's on our YouTube. You can choose to play it. And if you need any other support with being able to showcase that, certainly let us know. So with that, that's all I had to share with you all in today's training. Again, I truly appreciate you all year after year answering our call for support, not only for our organization, but again, and most importantly, for the babies and the students that we are helping to grow and teach along their way and their families as well. So any questions, or Kathy or Michelle, anything that I may have forgotten to mention?
I just have a question. Most of my walkers, or all but maybe one, typically register online, and they typically collect donations online, but most everybody also has some cash that they collect. So I would still need to put their name, submit their name as having some cash that they'll be collecting, even though they'll also be collecting online.
Yeah, well, if they're collecting online, if they're collecting physically, you want them to have a walker envelope.
Right.
So that way they are putting those donations in their walker envelopes. If they are registered online, luckily we already have their shirt size and we would already have their waiver. So you don't have to worry about those parts. But what I would say, just to make sure, is that before you think that, oh, they've registered online, we want to make sure that they've registered online. If not, it would just be safe to go ahead, give them the envelope and have them give you that waiver form back right away. So you can have both sides covered in case they forget and they just decide to do it all physically.
Okay.
And I would say if you're using the large gray envelope, you just
Mhm.
want to make sure that all your walkers are listed on the gray envelope. And
Mm.
if you know that they're collecting online, you could just write online next to them just for yourself. So you can
Right.
kind of keep track of your team. And then also, if you do turn in cash that day, the person that receives it can write it next to the name of that walker on your big gray envelope. Okay.
Right.
So just, use that gray envelope if you're using, manual envelope, use that gray envelope or some sort of list to keep track of who's walking on your team. And then Jeanette and Michelle have it down to a fine art at this point. I don't think we have many issues with that, but once in a while we have a walker that we don't know where they go, who they go with. So that helps.
And that is typically what I do.
Yeah.
But I thought I heard Jeanette, you say that there was a place online where we indicate people that are collecting cash. And so for me, that was my question, because that sounded like something new this year that I've not done before.
No, it's so let me pull it up for you. 1 second. On that form that you will fill out where you submit the I'm going to try to get there for you. On the form that you fill out where you're submitting your shirt sizes for folks,
Right.
the next page will ask you, and I'm going to try to bring that up. I have to fill it out myself really quickly. So
And that was the piece that sounded new to me, but maybe not.
okay, let me share this.
And sometimes you don't know, right? You don't know if people are going to end up getting the money in cash or a check or online.
So what this says, it just says each walker is collecting money in person, should have completed a liability form when you've given it to them. So we're just asking that if you know you have someone that isn't registered online, put in their full name, their email, and then just confirm that you've gotten a waiver form for them. So we
Okay.
give you a couple extra slots to do that. I think it should give you about up to 10 walkers. If you have more than 10 that are collecting online, make the note on your envelope. We can put it together, but this is just our way of making sure that we've provided group coordinators with a way to make sure that they've ensured that, yep, this person's walking. Yes, I have their waiver. We're just trying to be very intentional about making sure we're covered and that you've confirmed you have the waivers from folks who you should get it from.
So that would only be people that are not registered online. Okay.
Exactly.
Because many of my people do both. They collect online and then they have a small number of donations. So they have, most of them have both.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's solely for the purpose of the waiver. And so if they register online, even if they end up not collecting one online donation, they have completed the waiver.
Right. Okay, good. Thank you.
That's a great reason to get everybody to register online.
Right.
They end up collecting in person. It takes care of all of that for you.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Certainly makes life easier if everyone registers online.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. And for you, Sandy, I know that some of your walkers are not really computer savvy and don't want to mess with the computer, but you could do what we do with our families sometimes for some of the things they need to do is maybe have someone who is very computer savvy, have a laptop out one day at church, and they can just come up and they can help them register online, even if they don't collect anything online.
Okay.
And then their waiver is done and it's completed and you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
And especially where you guys, are you going to do yours virtually again, Sandy?
I don't know. I think we'll come down to Hyde
Oh,
Park.
okay,
Most
good.
people like that. We have families that love
Yeah.
to walk.
Yes, I know. Well, good. I'm glad.
Okay.
Talking with you guys. Oh, and here's mine. Hey, hi.
Aw.
Oh,
Just get out of the bath.
well, I